Good day. This is Doc with Adventures in Africa with Doc. Thank you for joining us again. We're enjoying just visiting with people that have had various experiences in Africa and want to share them with our audience. We just a week or so ago had an amazing team in Africa from Hilltop Church, and today we have Tim Bayse that was on that trip. And our son, Dustin, who's president of Blessman International in South Africa. Those two just had a wonderful time together. So I asked them both to join me for this podcast interview. And so let's go ahead and get started. Dustin, you want to start and reintroduce yourself? I know most of our audience has met you and been with you before, but start fresh like no one knows you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dad. My name is Dustin Blessman. I'm the president of Blessman International here in South Africa. I've been full-time for the last 11 years and just love all the projects that we have going on and the reach that the projects are having.
Thank you. Tim, let's hear a little bit about you, and then we'll get started with your adventures you guys just had.
Sure. Tim Bayse, lived in Clive, Iowa. It was my first trip over to South Africa after I don't know how many years of Dr. Blessman being patiently asking me to come see him over there. Finally did it. But anyways, lived most of my life here in Iowa and finally got to experience the trip.
Yeah, thank you for doing the trip, and thank you for joining us today. And you're right, I've been twisting your arm for years because I just had a really strong sense that you would love it if we could just get your boots on the ground over there. And turned out that seemed to be what happened. So let's go ahead and start with you this morning, Tim, and just tell our viewers a little bit about what you experienced and what all you did.
You know, Doc, I really didn't know what to truly expect. I'm gonna say a lot of things here, but
go for it.
And I really didn't know Dustin. I knew of him, and I knew you, Dustin, but not like I do today. And so, you know, I've never been to South Africa. When you've never been somewhere, but you hear about it, you have kind of an idea in your mind what to expect, and usually it's not accurate. And that was the case here. But basically, I'd like to sum up my experience in three categories. One was just being in South Africa, somewhere I've never been, and I really enjoyed that. I mean, so much so I don't know if I should say this or not, but I've already got another group of 4 ready to go. So
I love it.
Anyways, so that was one aspect, and there's actually more to that. But the other aspect was the people that I was with, the team. I was the oldest person there, and I enjoyed getting to know everybody because I probably wouldn't have otherwise. You know, I mean, other than acquaintance.
Yeah,
we got to know each other. That was really, really nice. And then the third thing, really, you can't. You know, Doc, I've always supported the ministry. I've always believed in it.
You've been incredible support, Tim.
And I've always taken the idea that I'm just going to send the money, wife spend it all. Well, now I did it. And I did it mainly out of respect for you, to be honest with you, initially. But wow. Yeah, no, seeing those children and those people, that does something to you. It touches you in a way that you just can't experience. You can't understand unless you experience it. Yeah. You see the poverty that they're in and everything. And that moves you. That moves you even more.
It seems like it always does. And the magic sauce of our ministry is to get people to experience it in Africa. Yeah. I can sit and talk to them all day, and they don't get it until they actually arrive there. But tell us some of the things you guys did. I know you were flying, you were hunting.
Well, you know, first of all, that gentleman right there, Dustin, I think he and I could be best friends. We have a lot in common. And, you know, we had a great time. Thanks to him, his hospitality, and his wife was wonderful too. Matter of fact, I think they make a great pair.
I do too.
Anyways, yeah, we've done a lot of things actually. And once again, I didn't know quite what to expect. I did think there would be a little more building in there, which is fine that there wasn't in the case. But we went to the different campuses and things, and we saw what Blessman International is doing. We saw the Enviroloos, understand the story behind those. We just got to see a well being drilled and the water shooting up, and the people, or the lady just, really appreciating that.
It's more value than an oil well.
Well, and you don't, obviously, people over here, we take so much for granted. It's unbelievable as to what people over there really appreciate. I mean, for the simplest things, from water to a ball, just give the kids a ball and they love it.
Yeah.
But anyways, and then, we helped with we saw the gardens and we helped with some gardening.
Well, Dustin, what were you experiencing as you two traveled around South Africa a couple weeks ago?
Oh, it was such an incredible team, and Tim, it was so wonderful to get to know you better on a deeper level. And you're right, we absolutely can be the best friends.
Yeah.
I would love to see more of you over here, and vice versa. But yeah, it was just really special. We got to drill the 90th water well together, and see the impact that's having in the communities. And our first flight together was quite exciting as well. The weather had closed in Johannesburg, so the visibility was very poor, and it was IMC weather conditions. So we had to wait a couple hours for the visibility to clear up, and it was enough VFR to get in and pick Tim up from the airport. So a wonderful first flight together. But yeah, overall, it just was just a very special team and a very special time.
Yeah, I think there was a blessing that you got there a day or so ahead of the rest of the team, Tim. We didn't plan that, but I think it worked out really well because I was hoping that you and Dustin would bond and connect on this trip, and God had a plan that just
Yeah.
made it happen. And I think while you were there, you decided to help us build an additional greenhouse. Is that right?
As silly as this is, Doc, he was showing me all the different campuses and stuff from the airplane. And I looked down there and I saw 3 and then 2. And I thought, there's room for another one. How come we don't have another one? so, one thing about Dustin, he's on top of it. I mean, he's constantly thinking, and the gears are turning about the ministry there. And I just said, well, what would it cost? And he told me, and I said, when can they start? And he got them going the next day.
Yeah.
So that was unusual in the construction field, but yeah.
Yeah. One thing that your team, Tim, was a little unusual is you had so many people that wanted to hunt. And I kept hearing that you and a number of other people were out hunting and just getting some big game and using that to help us feed kids. Tell us a little about what that was like.
Well, okay. Doc, as I told people after the fact, the largest thing I ever shot with a rifle was a rabbit. And that was probably 10, 15 years ago. And when Brandon proposed this day hunt thing, I almost turned it down.
Yeah.
And then I thought, you know what? Once in a lifetime, I was thinking thing. And long story short, obviously, I greatly appreciate the fact that that's feeding those children. That's another side to everything. Those children just touch your heart. They just get you.
Yeah.
But the thrill of that hunt blew my mind. I never experienced anything like it. And although honestly, when you think of missions, you really don't think of that. But I really appreciated that, and I'm going to do that again.
Amazing. I'm not really a hunter. I was when I was a young guy with pheasant hunt, rabbit hunt, squirrel hunt, but I've never shot even a deer in Iowa. But I enjoyed going on the hunts and being with, usually it's guys, but we've been on some hunts with women who love it. And a lot of people that golf, they golf because it's a time when you can bond with other people. And hunting is like that. You go out and spend a day in a hunting truck, and just you really have a lot of fellowship, and a lot of great things can happen through that kind of friendship and fellowship. And I always go on those hunts whenever I have time and I can, because it's just such a great experience.
Dustin, if possible, what I'd like, if we can do this, is that per animal, roughly how many meals that provide. I don't know if you can come up with that or not, but if you could, I'd like to put that underneath, because I'm having that sent over.
Yeah.
And I'd like to have that underneath of it, so it's a conversation starter. I mean, I can say, yeah, that was thrilling, but this is what happened for these kids. Something like that. So if we can do that, if not.
Yeah, no, definitely. We can certainly work that out.
One of the things I think you asked me about the trip, what we did, one of the things we did was spend time with some of the kids.
Yeah.
Through the eyeglass ministry and things of that nature. And I would sit there and ask them, these were a little older kids, what they were hoping to accomplish or do in life. And honestly, it surprised me. I've heard doctor, I heard engineer, so on and so forth. So that was good and encouraging. But when you see where they come from, it's it can be discouraging as well. But back to my point, we were in the playground with some little kids, and this little girl, all I did was swing her. She's on a swing. I push a swing, and I walk away. I did it a few times, and she follows me. And she turns around, she puts her hands up like this, and she wants me to pick her up. So I did, and I'm carrying her around, and she was as sweet as can be. I mean, she about ready to take her home.
Oh yeah.
She kept sitting there patting me on the back one hand, and she was just talking and singing, and I didn't understand a thing she was saying, unfortunately. But I walked up to one of the workers, and they told her name, so I know her name. But
thank you for doing that. And that's what our ministry's been all about over all the years, is serving these kids and really helping them to become followers of Christ, which is very important, and just to help them get a good start in life. And we've been blessed to have been serving there for long enough that we've watched children grow up. Some of the children were like 10 years old when we started, and now they're finishing college. It's just been such a joy to be there over many years. And you mentioned their hopes and dreams of wanting to be a doctor, wanting to be a lawyer, engineer. I think God gives everyone a vision of what he wants us to do. And so many things get in the way of us accomplishing that vision. And that's one of the things we're there doing is to help those kids to achieve the vision that God put in their heart. And we're having some success. It's in Africa, success comes slowly. It's like Dustin was saying, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But if you're persistent and you live there like we do, you keep making progress. And so it's people like you, Tim, that keep us on the mission field. And I wouldn't have missed this part of my life for anything. And I almost did. When God called me into the ministry, I thought, no, this is just strange. But I followed along and went ahead and gave it a try, and it's been amazing. And the future looks incredible. We have a really great partner with Convoy of Hope, and they've been helping us feed kids for the last 15, 17 years. And now they're looking at helping us drill wells and helping us with agriculture, the girls' empowerment. So I see nothing but a bright future as I look forward. I love having you be part of this ministry and actually having had you there. And hopefully we'll get your wife over there and let her experience.
she's coming.
Oh, praise the Lord.
Yeah. I want my kids to too, but right now with their little ones, it just doesn't work. But they're all going to go eventually.
Any final thoughts, Dustin, before we land this plane?
Not from my side, but Tim, it's great to see you again, and it's exciting to just relive that wonderful trip that you had, and we're certainly looking forward to seeing you in the very near future.
Yeah, thank you, Dustin. I totally enjoyed it, and I think you're right. It was a blessing for me to be there ahead of everybody else. Got to know this guy a lot better, and it just, the whole experience was beyond what I thought it was going to be.
Sounds wonderful. Well, I want to thank all of our audience, all the viewers, and thank you for joining us. If you want to learn more, just go to our website, blessmaninternational.org. Also, check out our YouTube page. We have many, many videos on the YouTube page, and we'd love to invite all of you to come to South Africa and experience some of the things we've been talking about here today. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.